Hey everyone, and welcome back to Inferno. So we had a look at the Nature's Aura mod last episode, and we set up the Crimson Altar and the Ritual of the Forest. The end of the room here did actually burn down between episodes. I did manage to get that fixed though, really not sure what caused that. Aren't these woods supposed to be fireproof? We also made some progression through Ars Nouveau, and we secured ourselves a supply of Source, as well as being able to access the Imbuement Chamber and the Enchanting Apparatus. I have also been doing some expansion around the colony. We got ourselves 2 new guard towers, 2 new houses, and also a sawmill. The sawmill over here, which is next to our enchanter, we can teach various wood recipes like slabs and fences. On the upgrade side of things, we now have a tier 2 enchanter, the second tier 2 build hut, a tier 2 courier, and a new addition to our colony, Andrus. Although I think some of our colonists died, I'm not sure exactly who. But you know what, let's not talk about that, it's the guard's fault, right? Anyways, it is our mission today to get the tier 2 university. Tier 2 means we have access to the level 2 upgrades here. It will also mean we have access to the mechanics hut. This is one of the most crucial buildings that we can make, because the mechanic here is the only way to get some of the applied energistics components, as well as things like a crafting terminal and the engineer's workbench from immersive engineering. And it is also required here to make drawer controllers. However, there is one thing that's been bothering me since last episode, and that is our method of aura generation from Nature's Aura. We used the Offshore Observer here to try to spawn magma cubes. In fact, we did successfully spawn magma cubes. Oh boy, this is too many. Run! I think though, after doing some tests, we may have a solution to fix it. And it's going to involve Ars Nouveau. And what I propose is we actually use spell turrets. These things can actually just cast spells on a redstone signal. And if we give it the harm spell, you can probably guess where I'm going with this, right? There is ways to send Source across huge distances, but that requires us to have access to the end for Chorus. So what I'm thinking is we actually use the Vitalic Source link. This, similar to the Offshore Observer, will actually detect whenever mobs are killed, and it will generate a small amount of Source, actually quite a large amount of Source based on that, which should mean we can keep the system fully self-contained. You guys also had the really great suggestion of using powdered snow. There is actually a crafting recipe for it. We can summon snowmen to get snow, and the air essence is actually quite simple, assuming we have wild and wings. We have 2 right now, which is not quite enough, but I'm sure we can make that work. Those are mob drop only. And the last thing I suppose is vector plates, which I think we can craft. Mechanical belt is definitely not default recipe. In fact, it's pretty expensive, but we can make this work. So we have a basic idea in mind. It's time to actually put this plan into action. Well, I think we're just about there with this system, apart from the fact that it's super ugly. I really hate the way this looks, so I'm probably going to end up rebuilding it, honestly. But I think most of the functionality is there already. We got a 9x9. This is just a tier 1 spawner, just so we don't spawn too many magma cubes. Vector plates push them all to the middle. We got powdered snow every other block. And because the large and the medium are larger than 1 block space, their hitbox, I think they're always going to end up in the powdered snow. And the tiny magma cubes should be cleaned up by the spell turret down there, which by the way is on a 0.5 second redstone timer. It receives its source from the source jar behind it, and the source jar is filled by the Vitalic source link. The source link, as you can see, every time a mob dies, it does get a tiny bit of source, which seems to be able to keep up with just the basic projectile harm spell. And then the main reason we set this up for the aura generation, we have our Offshore Observer, which of course, similar to the source link, every time a magma cube splits, will generate a small amount of aura in the area. It looks like we're now maxed out in the chunk here, as you can see on the top left. However, this is where we run into some problems. We're getting way too many drops here. Oh wait a second, is that a magnum torch? We need one of those. Normally for things like this, you would use applied energistics, but we don't have access to that and will never have access to that. Obviously the drives here are disabled. Let's put this magnum torch somewhere down next to these houses. I noticed a lot of mobs show up here, like here. So I think the only piping mod we really have access to is pretty pipes. And it seems that there is things like the damage filter and data filter. These actually do seem craftable. It's also quite nice that this actually drops XP for us. That can help us gear up for the boss fight later today. Oh yeah, and we're using iron grates here to allow the drops to pass through, but not the mobs. So I think our best solution for storage is going to be some sort of a drawer network. which means we will need a drawer controller. We only have one right now, so we're going to steal this one from here. It's not really essential that it's placed here at the moment. And I'm going to try to fit this in right around here. Honestly, I have no clue if everything is going to fit in a drawer. It might be that we just end up voiding a lot of the stuff. So to collect the items, I think we're just going to use some hoppers underneath the grates. I hope that hopper speed is going to be fast enough, although I believe there's a Nature's Aura equivalent, which is a bit faster than the vanilla versions. So that's going to send everything into the chest, and then from here we have to do all of the painful filtering. But we actually have a secondary problem. These pipes here require steel, and steel is not something that we can make at the moment. We're making coal coke, but we need the blast furnaces. So fortunately, we do have clay here from the bees. We need to get around to the bees. I think we're going to end up doing bees next episode. So after smelting up some netherrack and some clay for bricks, we can make blast bricks. I'm going to make as many as we can. So we do need a proper place for these. Right now we're just going to stick them right here, next to the coke ovens, which have been busy making coal coke. And we should have some iron here at the warehouse. It's been a while since I've checked our stock here, actually. Yeah, a few stacks here. So the crude blast furnaces here will turn iron into steel, using coal coke as a fuel source. And I think this is actually the only way to get steel in this pack. At least as far as I can tell, right? We can't make steel grit any other way. Oh, we can make steel via bees. Oh, that makes me happy. Wait, can we get the bee itself? Iron plus coal bee? I think we can, right? Yeah. So we don't actually even need these long term. But yeah, after it runs the recipe, it gives us steel and slag. I'm not sure if we actually need the slag for anything. We can use it for things like concrete powder. So now that we have access to the steel, we can make the rods, and with this we can craft the pipes. Let me do some filler in here and see if I can try to sort out this mess. Oh, this is going to be such a nightmare trying to get all these unstackables. Wait, hold on a second, it's all the way backed up already? There's actually some decent stuff in here though, which is why we want to actually keep it. At least some of it. Wow, okay guys, it has been like 5 hours for me maybe. I've had a number of different issues with this, but I'm a lot more happy with the way this is looking. It still needs tied into the environment. Oh, we got someone free here. But let me tell you, this thing is absolutely nuts. My #1 recommendation, if you guys are playing this pack, set up a mob farm, like ASAP. Look at all this stuff. This is crazy. The amount of stuff we're getting here is absolutely insane. There is like drawer upgrades and blood magic runes, drawer controllers, obsidian chests, storage buses, interdiction torches, creative modifiers. Basically all the top tier foods. I mean, we're gonna be eating well. We're eating well tonight. We get like cobalt, bee upgrades up there, the simulation upgrades, diamonds, gold, iron, lapis. This is just way too strong. Oh yeah, and this new armor set that we're wearing. We are absolutely rapid now. Maybe we don't even need to gear up anymore. We're getting flight elixirs as well, which give creative flight. Oh yeah, and also this new satchel from occultism. So the way we're doing this here, I've replaced the chest with a crystal chest, and then we're just using low extraction modules. I tried with high extraction modules actually, but you have to be careful with that. There is a bug with storage drawers right now, which will dupe all the items in here. So I had this running for like hours, and then I decided I would just trash everything. So I deleted all the contents here. This is just fresh drawers. I haven't taken anything out of here, so yeah, a lot of these are empty. We lost a lot of items like that, but I didn't want to cheat in any way. It seems though that only happens with the high extraction modules. So on the drawer controller, we've got the highest priority module, and on the trash can, we have the lowest priority module. I do want to start keeping some enchanted books, which means that we'll need a specific type of filter, and for that, we'll have to blacklist one of the smeltable ores in here. We don't want our smeltery to smelt any more iron ore. I think we need to make a tag filter so that we can filter out all of the enchanted books, but that requires us to have the ore. Oh yeah, and there's been a few other changes around the colony. We now have a tier 2 warehouse, which basically just increases the storage space in here. We're going to be setting up automation for the warehouse very soon, but I want to move on to our main objective for today, the university. But this is Inferno, right? We can't just do one objective at a time. We have to multitask. Very important part of playing this pack. So we're going to tackle blood magic today. Truthfully, we might actually be able to get away with using this gilded netherite set and this monstrous helmet. I mean, look at the buffs on this thing. But I still would like to go for the living set from blood magic. This is highly upgradable armor, and I think it's going to be much stronger long term once we get it fully upgraded. So in order to make any progression through blood magic, the first thing we'll need to do is get some demonic will. From what I'm told, it's actually different to 112. I'm not exactly sure in which way it's different. However, I'm pretty sure it's all going to start the same way here. Hello there, guys. I don't think it's worth their time to get this guy. Yeah, it's basically all garbage. Oh, there's an Enderman here. This is the first Enderman I've ever seen in this pack. No Ender Pearl. But yeah, the first step is to throw some snares at mobs until you see the particles. They should drop their demonic will. A 2.52, that's actually pretty decent as far as mob drops go. Let's get a few of these. Yeah, that one was only 2.06. So this demonic will, as it turns out, is actually our gate into occultism, as well as the blood magic tier 3. We have to actually melt it down in the smeltery. A lot of uses for this thing. We might end up having to move this to a more permanent location. And we have to make sure we pour it over a source gem. This thing gives us will-infused source gems. And this, funnily enough, is actually how we get incomplete infinity catalysts. So definitely something we'll want to automate later down the line. But today we need to dip it into tier 3 blood magic altar, 20,000 LP, and this will give us the next tier of the blood orb. So most of you guys are going to be familiar with blood magic. We need a lot of space going forward, and I don't really want to set this up in another temporary location. So I think our choices are either behind our university over here, or perhaps we consider going off of our storage room, one of these two corridors, or even over this way after Ars Nouveau. We should also consider the vertical space because we do need space underneath this altar as well. I'm sort of wishing at this point we put Nature's Aura elsewhere. It would have been nice to have blood magic here. But I think I might have an idea. Let me show you rather than trying to explain everything. So I actually ended up spending quite a bit of time deciding on which side of the storage room we should build blood magic on. I wanted to check both sides and we ended up coming across a huge ditch on the left hand side, which would make it really difficult to build in. So I ended up going with the opposite side, the right hand side. We're going to end up with a lot of netherrack here, and since we're getting storage upgrades, I decided to condense all of our netherrack drawers into one, and that way we can start to consolidate our storage and refine it a bit more. I also made up some more hepatizin to repair our hammer. And from there, it was really all just about digging. Lots and lots of digging. I wanted this to be quite an ominous looking room, so I want quite a lot of excess space in here. And I'm thinking actually that we also change up the color palette as well, just to better fit the theme of blood magic. And so that we don't end up burning the place down, because we do need to put in some lava for what I have in mind. So I thought I would bring you guys in at this stage of the build. I think it's looking pretty awesome, to be honest. I didn't want anything too busy, but we have went with something a bit different to the rest of our base. I didn't really want to use the crimson anywhere. Wait, this is crimson. I didn't want to use the warped anywhere. I want the focus of the room to be the blood magic altar, which is going to sit at the level of the blackstone there. This on the ceiling here is actually using quartz. Normally, I really don't like using white blocks in builds because for some reason I just can't make them work at all. Which is kind of why I scrapped them in GTNH. These are shroom lights, by the way, really awesome chipped versions. And I keep falling. Doing roofs is so painful. Although I guess maybe we should use some of those flight potions that we have. Yeah, you know what? I think this can work out if we get it all filled in here, and we don't actually have too much more of this nether wart block. It's also been brought to my attention as I'm filming this that we just hit 20,000 subscribers. That is crazy. It was only like a month ago that we hit 10k. Absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much. I actually ended up doing some fire tests with wood. This floor material here is actually blazing archwood from Ars Nouveau, which apparently is also fireproof. And you know what, actually I didn't check if the incense altar is craftable in here. Oh, it is. Okay, yeah, we can manage this, no problem. I should have checked this before, but yeah, we're going to be doing self-sacrifice. More on that in a bit, but I'm going to try and finish off this build right here. We don't have too much left to do, honestly. Alright everyone, let's get into some blood magic. For those of you unfamiliar with blood magic, I mean it's been around a very long time actually, since 1.7? I don't know, don't quiz me on this. I'm not an expert, we're always learning, always learning. Okay, so we got this at tier 1, is just the blood altar. Tier 2 is with a layer of runes, 1 block below the altar. Tier 3 is another layer of runes. These blocks here can be anything we want. I may end up switching them out to something else. I'm not sure the polished blackstone looks right here. In fact, we can get a preview in the blood magic book. And then you must either have glowstone, shroom lights, or I think sea lanterns here. And we should see this turn into tier 3. Yeah, it's hard to see, but in the top left there, you can see tier 3. For tier 4, we need Demon Slate bricks. Or what is it called? Bloodstone bricks? Yeah. And we need the Arc Furnace for this. Yeah, we can't make those quite yet. So to progress the quest, we need the Will-Infused Stone, 20,000 LP. But 20,000 LP, just with a self-sacrifice, is quite a bit here. And in fact, we can't even hold 20,000 LP. We can only hold 10,000 LP. So this is where the Incense Altar comes into play. This thing will allow us to get Tranquility, as it's called. And you can see our self-sacrifice dagger actually changed to a different texture. Was that a coincidence, or was that me? I think that was just a coincidence. As soon as I pressed right click there, someone walked into a propel plant. That was kind of scary. And again. Anyways, the Incense Altar is also a multi-block structure. What is going on? This place is going to be in bits after we're finished here. I want to fly away, so whoever that is blowing up the area will despawn, hopefully. It's actually quite interesting taking a look at our colony from above here. I think this is the first time we've been able to do that because of flight. I can already tell this is going to look so awesome when the buildings are upgraded. So for the oh, I nearly died there. So what we need here is a 1 block gap after the Incense Altar, which also, by the way, has to be within 5 blocks of the Blood Altar itself. Then we want 3 blocks of Wooden Path, and this extends the range of the Incense Altar. And it allows us to add things like fire, and also farmland, although I didn't think about the fact that we can't actually place farmland in the nether, since we can't have water down here. Yeah, you know, perhaps it actually does count, because it might have the same MBT tag on it. Yeah, without it here, we've got a 70 Tranquility, you can see in the top left, and a 24 bonus to self-sacrifice. We can add things like Life Essence, Netherrack, Dirt, Farmland, Carrots, Potatoes, Wheat, Netherwart, Beetroot, Leaves, Logs, Fire, and Grass. And the more variety we add, the more Tranquility we get, and the bigger bonus we get to self-sacrifice. Or to put it simply, the more blood we extract from ourselves. However, as we saw, we can't actually hold the 20 buckets that we need, so I'm curious if we have any capacity runes here. I don't think capacity runes actually drop, we'll have to craft them. Only to craft them, we need slates. And for capacity runes, we need the Imbued Slate, which is the tier 3. It's made from the Reinforced, which is tier 2, and the Blank Slate made from Obsidian is the tier 1. So to automate this process, all we need to do is add some pipes. I think we actually need 2 sections of pipe though. Just because of the way these work, you can't have an insertion with just 1 length of pipe. We just want a low extraction module, which will pull everything from the chest. But inside this one, we want a stack limit module. And we only want to allow 1 item in here. The altar will happily accept up to 64 items, but if we don't have enough LP in there, the crafting progress will actually go backwards. And since we're doing self-sacrifice, we don't have automatic LP generation. And so the obsidian will just be stuck in here, and it will never ever finish the craft. So now if we put more than 1 obsidian in here, it should only let 1 inside. Yeah, there's the first tier of slate. If we leave it in longer, it's going to turn into the tier 2. More explosions. But we have to make sure we have enough blood in there. We are going to actually grab another extraction module, and we'll add the other one onto the other length of pipe here, but we want to make sure we filter this for reinforced slates, or really it should be the imbued slates. Now all we have to do is wait on this thing crafting. It is extremely slow though. Maybe, in fact, you know what, I think I did see some speed runes that we got. Yeah. We can replace the blank runes, which don't actually give us any bonuses whatsoever, with speed runes, which increases the crafting speed of the altar. These yellow ones here are self-sacrifice runes, which give us an extra bonus on top of the incense altar to self-sacrifice. So every time we use the dagger, we get more LP per sacrifice. And capacity, as you can imagine, will increase our capacity from 10 buckets all the way up to hundreds of thousands, depending on how many runes we add. Oh yeah, that is definitely faster with the speed runes, that's for sure. Since we have to wait on all these runes crafting, I'm going to flesh out this incense altar to give us more tranquility. And there is more path blocks we can craft, however we need the next tier of blood orb before we can do that. Once we had the tier 3 blood orb, I made up some binding reagents and combined that with the traveler set to give us the tier 3 blood magic armor set. However, we are not quite finished in our preparations for this boss fight. I don't know if we're over preparing here truthfully, but I would rather be too prepared than not prepared enough. Especially when this is only the first boss and there's 4 or 5 more to go in this pack. Aha, you are exactly who I'm looking for. I brought along a soul shard. Hope it actually works to bind these guys. Ah yes, it does work. However, this is only tier 0. I think it has to be at least tier 1 before it will spawn any mobs in the soul cage. You know what, since we're here already in the Crimson Forest, we should make sure to pick up all of these warped roots. I find that the builders actually use these as decoration in our colony, and I never have access to them nearby. Yeah, you know, maybe we could fill the rest of the soul shard later on. I really only went to get a few more pearls so that we could craft some more bonsai pots. So I would like to unlock the next tier of Ars Nouveau saplings. There is the Blazing version, which we crafted in the Ritual of the Forest, and in fact we're using in our Blood Magic build. If we give the Imbuement Chamber redstone, a button and a clock, it's going to craft us Manipulation Essence. The Manipulation Essence along with the Archwood gives us Cascading Archwood, which of course will stick in a bonsai pot. Once we get a Cascading Archwood sapling, we can also give this Manipulation Essence. It turns into the Flourishing Archwood. And I believe there is one more as well. Oh, this Manipulation Essence actually allows us to craft andesite and things. And moss blocks, that could be... I think this is a bit easier. Easier than using the smeltery, that's for sure. Yeah, the last one is Vexing Archwood, which is actually a quest. It gives us the Glyph of Fel, but that is tier 2 and we don't have the tier 2 Mage's Spellbook yet. The reason that I wanted these though is to make use of the Ritual Brazier, and as the questbook recommends, we're going to be making use of the Tablet of Awakening, which takes one of each sapling and a Flourishing Archwood, and some more source gems. I don't think we have any more of these actually. Oh, we can get these guys from bees as well. Oh, bees are awesome. We really need to do some bees. I'm looking forward to the bees, honestly. However, we actually still have 2 more issues that we need to tackle before we can do this boss fight. One is our lack of damage, severe lack of damage. We are using this really bad sword right now. I mean, it could be worse, to be honest. It could definitely be worse, but it could be way better, considering I think this boss is going to have, like, hundreds of hearts. So I'm told anyway. I haven't actually seen it for myself. And the other problem is how we upgrade this living armor set. The eyes look so weird on this. I don't know. It's not my skin, right? No, it's not the skin. It's the actual helmet itself, right? Yeah. So the thing is, with this living armor set, you have to actually level up by training. And there is a whole list of different traits, as well as ways to train them. We're mostly going to be interested in the healthy trait, which we can upgrade by regenerating health. As you can see here, the healthy trait is going up on our chest piece. However, there's a certain amount of upgrade points. It's maximum 100. You can increase to 300 with a Blood Magic Ritual, but the Blood Magic Ritual requires us to have tier 4, and that's not something I think we can get today. But we also have to be careful we don't also train things like Step Assist, which would take away from points we could put into healthy. It's going to be quite a difficult balance, given the fact that we don't have access to the Ritual to fine-tune this. Basically, the Ritual drops the tomes. I don't know if they show up in here in JEI. Yeah, these things, the Living Armor tomes. And with these, you can restrict the amount that you want to train a certain ability on your chest piece. Plus, we would have to enchant the armor, and we don't really have an apotheosis set up. In fact, we don't even have an enchanting table. I don't think we can enchant with this Enchanter's Tower block here. No. So because of that, I think we might actually end up just chancing it with the armor we've got, for at least for this boss fight. And we'll try to train this for the next one. So that I suppose leaves us with our weapon situation. We have these small boss gate portals, which I'm assuming just spawns apotheosis bosses, and those guys have really good weapon drops. Let's not go too close to our citizens here, we don't want them dying from this. Plus I don't know exactly what this thing spawns. This is not the boss, this is going to be something completely different. So let us try out this Tablet of Awakening. I want to summon the Vexing Wieldwalker, which will cast Hex and Amplified Wither at nearby enemies. I think we just need the Tablet of Awakening, and we also have to grow an Archwood tree nearby. I think we just use this and right click. Oh, it's so cool with the shaders, man. Hey dude, look at this guy, he's got like a, I don't know, is that hair on the back of the leaves? So I think with our Dominion wand here, we can set a position for him to guard. Let's just set this dirt block here. So that is effectively his home, he's going to guard that with his life. Let's spawn the boss, see what happens here. Oh yeah, we also have this Pharaoh Scepter, which is like a bow. Oh, of course it's an Inquisitor. Oh no, this is, yeah, there's 3 waves as I understand it. Oh, come on, he got too far away. Maybe we have to build some sort of boss arena? I definitely don't want that to happen with the main boss. Okay, let's try this again. Mini boss number 2. Try to get our weapon here. Oh, it's an Enderman. It's an Enderman with flame and slowness. Oh, this might not end well. Something just broke my armor. Well then, that didn't go very well, did it? And we lost our leggings here, and also almost the boots and chest piece. I don't know if we have a spare of that though. No, we don't have spare leggings. Maybe we have some spare armor here in the warehouse. I kind of doubt it though. No, but we do have this much better Pharaoh Scepter. Power 6. Oh wow, that is an insane drop. Okay, new plan. We're gonna raid this dungeon here. This is on the nether roof, just next to our colony actually. Oh, spawners. Yeah, we can't break those. Yeah, of course. Black Widow spiders. These are manageable, I guess. Oh, he was so fast. Let's get a flight potion. He was so fast. He's fishing me in. Look at this. There is absolutely no way we could do this without flight. Probably should have had flight for the other boss as well. Okay, we got him. We got a shock pendant. Has a chance to strike attackers with lightning. That's actually decent. And some netherite armor, which is trash. We can't do anything with this. Okay, chest number 1. Nothing. Oh, check this out. It's mimics. It's like from Dark Souls. It would have been better if they actually stood still though, so when you opened them, they jumped at you. Aha! Infinite water bucket. Not such a bad sword, but nothing much else. You know what? I think those dungeons actually have some potential though. I'm going to try to find some more and see what we can get here. Alright, so it's been a while later. I raided some more dungeons. We didn't really get much of anything though. I'm curious though if this pigman's going to drop anything. Nope. Wait, this is some leggings, but I mean the durability is awful. However, I think we've failed our mission here today. I think, honestly, our best solution is to go with the living set, but there's going to be quite a bit more investment in this than I first thought. If it's anything like those bosses we fought, I think we definitely have to get into some apotheosis enchanting, and perhaps there's some other tricks we can maybe pull out the bag. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But hey, we did manage to start blood magic here, and we of course got our mob farm up and running for magma cubes. But that will have to do us for today. We're definitely going to get this boss next episode, that's for sure. Oh, healthy level 4, nice. Yeah, I'm going to be here leveling up this living set. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode.